Hi folks, this weekend we came to the Garda Lake in Italy. It's me and 4 girls between 4 and 10 years old. 2 are my daughters, 2 are my nieces. We are walking on the west side of the lake, and if you stay tuned you'll find out where we are enjoying this amazing sunset. And now let's go. And the adventure starts here in the port of Garda. These couple of days walking with 4 girls is gonna be amazing. I'm gonna say that they are all my daughters. We just left the village of Garda behind. It's back there, behind that curve. We are gonna walk along the coast now for the first part. First because it's a very nice walk, and second because we wanna take a dip in the lake before starting our way a bit inland. Today is extremely hot. I think it's gonna get up to 32, 33 degrees. First swim of the day for the girls. They are back there at sea. Now I'll probably jump in as well. Now we are between Garda and Punta San Virgilio, and I did not notice on Komoot that the path along the river stops here. Now there is a part here without any track. The girls already went in front with the sandals. I don't know how long it is like this. And the part like this continues. And the bigger girls take care of the smaller one. They are carrying them along this part. And now we pass this incredibly adventurous part and we are in Punta San Virgilio. This is Punta San Virgilio. There is a small pier where I'm standing right now, and there's this magnificent small little port with a restaurant right at the edge of the water. We now left the coast because also in this part there is only the main road. There is no walking path, so we are now climbing up a little bit above the lake level. We are now out of these woods. The one back there is Torre del Benaco, where we stopped for lunch. We did a shortcut through the olive groves here. Private property, but it should save us maybe 1 kilometer. Torre del Benaco for lunch. There is finally a good place to have some good food, I think, at least from the ratings. The girls absolutely need it. Torre del Benaco for lunch, an absolutely fantastic restaurant. I think it's called Mirella, no, da Mirella. Extraordinary. This behind is the pretty porto of the Torre del Benaco, which is the last place for today, I think, where we stay along the lake. Torre del Benaco is somewhere back there. Now we are up the hills on the west side of the Garda. We are going up to Crero, where the village itself is very nice, and then there are some rock carvings. We are just outside a small hamlet called Crero, and at the right there are some rock carvings from prehistoric times, and these are these microscopic things here. I was expecting something a bit more visual. There is a small hamlet of Crero, which I had read is almost completely abandoned, and this is probably one of the main reasons I wanted to do this walk. I read that there are 2 of such villages, abandoned but still completely well kept. Now we are taking a small break in Crero, which is almost inhabited, but I asked, there is a bar here, a cafe in Italian, right in the center, and I asked how many people live here, and they said there are about 20 people who live here. It's smaller than expected, but there are probably 50 houses, so, and most are empty. Now leaving Crero, where we took the small break, and there is this church of San Siro, in a beautiful location just overlooking the lake. From this point it's visible the last stop of the day, which is the village of Pai, which is this one here. And the one back there is the Tibetan bridge between Crero and Pai. It should be pretty high, I think about 45 meters above the valley floor. Now I'm gonna walk up there with the girls. And I just passed the bridge back there. That back there is the destination for the day. It's the village of Pai. Our hotel should be right in the center square of this small village. And here's the hotel for tonight, Locanda San Marco, right in this pretty small square of Pai. Check in, and I think that we still have time to use the swimming pool. Here we got to the room of this pretty hotel, much better than I expected actually. There's also a fantastic swimming pool where the girls already jumped in, and now I'm following them. Before jumping into the swimming pool myself, I'm gonna check out a bit the village. Now on the whirlpool here in the hotel, I think with the best view that I've seen so far from the village. Starting the day where we finish the first, we're gonna have breakfast here at the hotel, probably have a dip in the pool once again, and then we head farther north. Let's see how far we go. Let's say the farthest point possible is Malcesine, but maybe we can stop before. We left the village of Pai behind, we continue north. The one back there is the small hamlet of Ca Tronconi, and now we continue on these old mule trails. Pretty tough part. There is almost no path. You need to go through all these branches, but the girls seems they are making it. And back there they are moving, they are coming. We went through bushes which are not I think it was not any kind of trail, and we ended up at somebody's house, this one here. Now we are gonna go around their entry gate. Found a crazy crew up there. They basically escaped Firenze to come up here. They went bankrupt down there with a car dealer or something like this.
Poi c'è le case, poi c'è il caserone, insomma ce n'è di posti. Questo più io l'ho sentito dire.
No, il vino mi sa di
no. Lei aveva sete, voleva bere?
Frutto, volete un frutto?
Banana? Allora, ho due banane a mezzo, ok?
Va bene?
Va bene? Bene.
Ma te tu saresti babbo?
Io sono il papà di due. And he had a house from his family. He came here, he did everything by himself. I didn't understand how he got electricity by himself. But basically, yeah, he is here. He lives with whatever he finds. They're very nice. They gave us 2 bananas to share in the 5 of us, and some water. And they show us around their small property here. Actual track would have been 200 meters above where we are right now. This is why it's a bit weird about the way, and there are some parts where there is basically no path at all. We are just walking in the woods. Continue along the same road. Now we're gonna go for lunch in Castelletto, which is on the shores of the Garda lake. This is località Piazza, which is just above Castelletto. We got to Castelletto for lunch. There is this beautiful view of the roofs of the village with the backdrop of the lake. We arrived at the località Castelletto di Brenzone, and there is a small square with this beautiful restaurant right in the middle. We're gonna have lunch here, and then I think we're gonna swim a bit in the lake before continuing our journey. And this is the pretty port of Castelletto di Brenzone, the same village where we had lunch, not a very spectacular one. The port is the most colorful that I've seen. We took a swimming break in Castelletto, in this wonderful and completely empty kind of beach that there is on the lake shore. There is only one part without the stones. There are some pebbles there, and I think everybody is right in that place, including ourselves. I want to see one last place, Campo, which is one of those abandoned villages. Probably probably the last climbing of the weekend. We are going up from Castelletto to see this village of Campo on a beautiful stone path. I read it was very old. It is part of the roads that were made by the Romans. We now got to the village of Campo that looks really pretty, even prettier than Crero yesterday. We also got a tree of wild cherries that we ate like crazy. Probably we will not sleep tonight. And now here in the village of Campo, which is probably the most charming place I've seen in this tour. It's a truly abandoned village. I don't think anybody lives here. Now I'm walking through these houses, which I guess were lived until 60, 70 years ago. And there are no roofs, windows that have sky in both directions. This is the last stop for this weekend. We go now down to the port, which is just close to here, about maybe 15 minutes walking. And then I think the weekend is over. And just past Campo, some of the best views we had of the lake. From here you see all directions. Here we are in the port of Magugnano, the last stop of the trip. It was an absolutely awesome adventure. It's not the most scenic hike that I've ever done, but there was a lot of things happening and we enjoyed it very much. I hope you enjoyed the trip. Let's see you next time.